Then I tell her and she's like, yo, she doesn't think that she can drive there. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. You can ask the other two gentlemen to drive on your behalf. And then she says, the other one doesn't have a license and the other one forgot his license at home. Okay. Hi team, welcome back to another video and another episode of our Becoming a Homeowner series. Thank you so much for joining me, and most importantly, thank you so much for supporting the series by engaging, liking, commenting, giving me feedback. Guys, I've appreciated that so much in the past month, and I still do appreciate it. Feedback is very important for a creator because you get to have a sense of whether your message is landing the way that you would like it to, or if it's being misinterpreted and all of those things. And it really does help to get feedback, and I really appreciate that you guys picked up the engagement on the series and you've been doing just that. So thank you so much for that. I thought it's important to take time and really appreciate you guys for supporting the series. Today we are going to be doing a story time, and this is episode 6 of our Becoming a Homeowner series. And the not so exciting part about this whole process, or one of the not so exciting parts about this whole process. So just a bit of context before I start, right? The first time that I moved, we actually used my husband's dad's bakkie, and him and his brothers helped us move, which was great. But then, we just realized how much work actually goes into moving when that happened. And the fact that it takes the entire day and, everybody's work and time and all of that stuff. And it's really, it's a difficult job, right? One shouldn't take it lightly. So that's what happened with the first one. But we did obviously save in the sense that, we didn't have to pay for a delivery truck or a company or anything like that. Then the second time, we decided that we're going to use an individual this time. We're not going to do it ourselves because we realized that it was just too much work, like I said. So we sourced an individual, but that individual was very disappointing. He was late. There were a lot of complaints. His car wasn't big enough, and then we had to take stuff in our car anyway. So it almost felt like we were helping, with most of the stuff anyway. So what was the point? And some of our stuff was broken and scratched, but there was no recourse for complaining or anything like that, and we just had to stomach it. So for this final move, and I say final move because now we were coming into our own home, obviously, so something of a more permanent nature, I decided that, I'm going to pitch the idea of us using a company instead, and just making sure that somebody handles everything when it comes to the move, and we don't have to worry or panic about anything. They're going to do the packing, not the packing, sorry, but they're going to do the wrapping to make sure that the stuff is safe. They're going to move it and all of that stuff, and we can just be cool-headed about it and know that it's taken care of. So then my husband was like, okay, cool, let's go for that avenue. It's fine, no issues. So now we're for once, we're just going to relax with the move and not do anything. Hey, little did we know. So so let me tell you how we chose the company. So it boiled down to 2 well-known companies that were within an affordable range, right? Company A and company B. So company A, I was going to go with it as well, or rather it was one of the 2 options. But on one of Zizi's vlogs, because she was also moving, she mentioned how disappointed she was in the service of that company, and the fact that she would not recommend that anybody use that company for their moving experience because of the bad experience she had. But she didn't go into details, right? Just like I also won't mention the company and the names of the people. So I then said, okay, then company A is a write-off. It must be company B, right? Because some of the few reviews that were there were actually pretty good. So I went with company B, and I must admit that up until the day of the actual move, everything was seamless, guys. The online quotation process, delivery of communication and information, everything was nice. The support was great. And to add on top of that, the day before we moved, the operations manager actually sent me a WhatsApp to say, hi, it's the evening before the move. I'm really, looking forward to it and to being of assistance. And I hope everything is ready to go and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, wow, that's a really great service ad, and this is obviously going to go smoothly. And even though I was like, about the price we paid, for the move. But I was like, okay, this is probably why you pray, like you pay a decent amount of money. You pay for that certainty, that comfort, and all of that stuff. Hey, okay. So I was like, okay, everything's gonna go smoothly the next day. We're supposed to move at 9 o'clock. Yeah, we're supposed to move at 9 o'clock. So I was packed and ready. And then closer to after 9, I think it was 10 past 9, quarter past 9, half past 9, I hadn't no, not half past 9, it was quarter past 9, and I got a phone call. I might like have the times a bit, so I got a phone call from the guy helping me move, and he was saying that he's running no, I actually got an SMS. It wasn't a phone call. Hi, I'm running a bit late because I have to go past a certain place, but I will be there no later than 20 minutes or something like that. So I was like, okay, cool, sharp. Then it was half past 9, quarter to 10, 10 o'clock, and I hadn't heard anything from him. So then I was like, okay, that's a bit weird. I tried calling the number that he had called me on, no answer. Then I called the operations manager. Actually, I WhatsApped the operations manager, and I was like, hi, it's 10 o'clock now. The move was set for 9 o'clock. And, the guy said he's running a few minutes late, but he's still not here, and it's an hour later. What's going on? Then he says that, oh, so I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm going to get a hold of him and find out what the holdup is. So I don't know if it was my stupidity, but the way I was communicating with the operations manager, I actually assumed that he would be part of the team that does the move, right? Maybe not physically, like, moving and stuff, but I thought that he would be there. But clearly he was trying to also communicate. So then he then sends me a WhatsApp after we stopped chatting, and he says that no, he's communicated with the guy. The guy's going to be there anytime soon. Quarter past 10, half past 10, quarter to 11, right? It's going now on almost 2 hours. I go back to the operations manager, and as I'm going back to the operations manager, this guy calls me and he's like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to make a plan, something, whatever, right? I don't really remember what the excuse or the reason was. Okay, cool, now it's going on 2 hours, and then after 2 hours, I get a call from a lady, right? This lady sounds like an elderly woman, and she says to me, hi, I'm lost and I'm on my way to you, and can you please help me with the directions? And then I ask her, like, sorry ma'am, who are you? And then she says, oh no, I'm coming to help you with the move. Now I'm a bit confused because, number one, there's an operations manager that I thought would be the one helping me move. It wasn't him, it was actually another driver. And then this driver is telling me that he's running late, and now there's a third lady involved who's also telling me that she's on her way to help me move. Now I'm like, okay, there's 3 people involved in this move, and it seems like these 3 people are in different places, right? So then I say to her, but I provided the address on GPS, and she's like, sorry, I don't have GPS, I'm not using GPS. Hi, I'm trying to direct her around the GPS situation, but also I'm still confused. Next thing, another gentleman calls me, not the operations manager and not the driver that I was speaking to initially, and he says, I'm helping the lady get to you, so can you please help me? Yo guys, the situation is getting frustrated, very frustrating. It's more than 2 hours later. I'm now like talking to 3 people or 4 people, trying to organize for people to actually arrive after the 2 hours. Eventually, after the back and forth, more than 2 hours later, eventually arrives with the moving truck, 2 gentlemen and 1 woman, right? And then with these 3 individuals, they arrive, okay, cool, sharp. And then the lady obviously had difficulties coming up the stairs, and then as she comes up the stairs, she says, yo, I'm so tired, I didn't expect for there to be stairs, this is so tiring. Now I'm confused. I'm like, is the lady also helping with the move, or what's going on? Then the other guy of the 2 guys is also complaining that, sure, you know what, this looks like it's going to be a lot of work. After they come in and they see the stuff that they're going to move, he's complaining that it's going to be a lot of work. So now I'm dealing with these 3 individuals, and everybody seems to be, unprepared or like complaining about what they have to do. And I just don't understand what's going on. I'm besides myself. And I sit down, and then the lady asks me to, can she please have some water? So I'm like, okay, cool. I had already cleaned out my fridge. Is it fine if I give you, the water the cold water that comes from the fridge? Then she says, no, please give me tap water. I don't want cold water. Cool. I give her tap water and I serve it to her, obviously with respect, because like I said, it's an elderly lady. And then she takes a sip of the water, and then she tells me that no, what's going on here is the fact that my son is the one who does the move. So this is his company and his truck, and he's contracted to the moving company. So he gets like sort of tenders to move people, right? And he was the one who was supposed to help you move. The operations manager actually sits in the head office, but they are not the ones who do the deliveries. Okay, that part clicks. So then I'm like, okay, but then where's your son? And then she says, well, my son is getting married soon, and he actually went to Home Affairs to get his ID, and then he got stuck there. So he asked me to swap cars with him and come and help you move. But I've never moved anything in my life. And I'm like, okay. So the two gentlemen, and then she says that the two gentlemen are also not people who like movers, if I can call them that, but they are actually family members, and they came to the wedding. They came to Johannesburg for my son's wedding. So they agreed, or rather got coerced into this activity of helping you move as well. So the three of us know nothing about moving, and we've never done it before, but we're going to make it work, right? So I'm like, okay, the plot thickens here. Fine, this is the situation and this is what it is. So I text my husband, because he had already started moving stuff with the car, especially because we were running out of time and we were late. So he went to pick up a few things and help moving a few things already. So I text him and I'm like, dude, this is the situation here. I really don't think you should come, because if you come, I have a feeling that they are then going to expect you to also help with the move, which is not fair, because I feel like we've spent like a decent amount of money to get the support and the help that we need. And if you're going to end up helping and I'm helping, then it's just going to be too much. Then he sends me a message back. He's like, hey, I've done the first drop off. I'm coming. I need to be there to basically check what's going on. I'm like, this is a trap. So he's on his way. I'm sitting. So the lady's just sitting down. She's not doing anything. She's tired. Like, she's just sitting down. She keeps asking for water. Sharp. So I keep packing, making some water for her. Packing, making some water for her. Of these two gentlemen, the youngish one, Sheb, like, he was very good. He was willing to help, his sibling, or rather his family member that was in this situation. The elderly one was complaining the entire day, guys. He was just like, oh my God, my back. Oh my God, my shoulders. Oh no, this. Oh no, that. And by the time my husband arrived, the younger one then started asking my husband if he can help him move, so they can move the things together. Right? Because it's going to be easier than asking the other older guy to, help in and chip in, because he kept complaining. What I was afraid of was now happening. My husband was also recruited, and he was also moving stuff. So I'm packing stuff, putting it by the door for them. He's moving stuff. It goes back to square one, where we're doing the things ourselves. Then to top it off, he's like, you know what? He doesn't see a need for us to, wrap everything, because in any case, it's going to sit comfortably in the car and there's not enough time to wrap and all of those things. And the thing that was frustrating me was the fact that we had paid for everything to be wrapped on the side, right? So this means now we're now losing out on that. And I think what made me uncomfortable the most is the fact that I don't feel like I could express myself the way I wanted to, because of the lady that was like, she's almost the same age as my mother, basically. So I was treating her like my mother, and I couldn't fully express my disappointment and my unhappiness. And obviously, like, in the conversation, she was just telling me that she's so sorry that I have to go through this, and that my husband has to help and I have to help with the moving situation. Her son just got caught up. He's getting married this weekend and there's a rush and stuff like that. And she basically said, please don't tell, the company, because then he's going to be in trouble and he's going to lose his income, and he really needs his income for the business, because they've got a family on the way, and all of these things that got me all soppy inside. So I was unhappy, but at the same time, I didn't want to jeopardize somebody's reputation and their future income, earning, potential, just because I said something. So I kept quiet and we rolled with the punches, and he started packing and all of that stuff. Then, obviously, with the complaints in between, which was very frustrating. So anyway, we eventually get to the end, right? When we get to the end, guys, this is part 2 now. When we get to the end of the packing and stuff like that, then this lady is like to me, I drove, uncomfortably, like, coming here, because I've never, I'm not comfortable with driving like a small truck. So where are we moving to? So then I tell her, and she's like, yo, she doesn't think that she can drive there. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. You can ask the other two gentlemen to drive on your behalf. And then she says, the other one doesn't have a license, and the other one forgot his license at home. Okay. Then my next question is, okay, what are we going to do? And then she says, I don't know, because it seems like my son is still held up, with getting his ID fixed and stuff like that. So he can't help us. And obviously, how would he get here? I get by now I'm defeated, and I'm also tired because I was involved in the move. And then she says, wouldn't you mind, asking your husband to be the one to drive the truck, and then you can drive his car, and then we can move that way. And in my head, I'm like, okay. So first of all, we're more than 2 hours late, right? And behind schedule. Second of all, I've spent like a reasonable amount of time, serving water, trying to help people so that they are more comfortable with the job that they were supposed to do. Now, on top of us having to do that, and my husband helping with the move, he now must drive the truck that, that the actual truck, for like the delivery truck. But because we obviously didn't want to waste more time, and we didn't have a choice in this instance because we couldn't wait for the guy, and how was he going to get to our place? My husband got into the car, he drove it, he said it's fine, he agreed, I asked him, he agreed, and I drove his car. Then there's not enough space in the delivery truck for everyone, right? Because it's a 3-seater. So he got in there with the 2 gentlemen, and then the lady got into the car with me. So then I was driving behind the delivery truck that my husband was driving. Imagine, guys. So we helped with the packing, we helped with moving the stuff into the truck, and then we also literally drove the delivery truck, and we helped with the unpacking at the destination, which was our place. That was our moving experience. And honestly, I feel like a part of me feels like I shouldn't be complaining, because I could have lodged, a formal complaint. I could have said, look, this was unacceptable, I'm demanding a refund. But on the way and at the place, like, she kept telling me that, she's so sorry, and she really hopes that I can keep this between us and that I don't say anything. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not mentioning the company name. 2, I'm not mentioning anyone's name. I'm just telling the story. And honestly, a part of me feels like these things will continue to happen to us because we continue to protect people, because we feel sorry for them, and we feel like, it was a once-off, it was probably, and who knows, maybe this is the recurring experience for other people as well. But I just couldn't bring myself to formally complain and actually do something about it. So maybe I'm partially to blame for that. I don't know, to be honest. All I know is what a move. And I'm so glad that it was like, we're not going to be moving for the next many years, because what an experience. And it hurts even more than the last experience, because here it was a reasonable amount of money because it was a company, a reputable company, whereas before it was like the guy was very decently priced because it was private. So even though it sucked, we're like, but we took the risk. But this time everything was in place to make sure that it was a perfect move. But guys, it was a movie. I feel like I'm not even giving it justice. I'm not even giving the story justice. But that's basically happened when we moved. The great thing is that nothing was damaged or anything like that. I suppose nothing was damaged because we literally moved ourselves. So we took care of our stuff. But the sad part was the fact that, we didn't get the service that we paid for, and we didn't even complain or have anything done about it. But I don't know. I don't even want to say I'm going to change, because I know I'll always be that person to save people's jobs and to, consider that as opposed to how I'm serviced or the service delivery. Let me know in the comment section, would you have complained like officially and asked for a refund, even if it means getting the guy into trouble and getting him less work? I mean, he is starting a family soon after all. Would you have done that? Or would you have been like me and be like, it's fine, it happened. There's nothing we can do to take it back. We might as well just keep it moving. Let me know in the comment section what you would have done if you were in our situation. Guys, that's it for the story time today. Thank you so much for listening in and for listening to me semi-vent. I feel like I'm in a good place now. Like, I'm comfortable and settled. So I'm not even telling it with enough like I would have initially. But let me know what you would have done for sure. I'm really interested to know. And if you enjoyed this video, like I said, please make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so I can see you in other videos. Bye.